Joshua Cheruiyot. On May 22, 2024, Joshua Cheruiyot, a 40-year-old banker from Kenya, was climbing toward the top of Mount Everest. Joshua was trying to make history by becoming the first African to climb Everest without oxygen tanks. Joshua had been climbing mountains since he was a teenager. He had reached the top of Mount Kenya over 20 times. He climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in just 15 hours. In 2023, he became the first African to climb Mount Manaslu, the world's 8th highest mountain, without oxygen. But Everest was different. Climbing without oxygen on Everest is something less than 2% of climbers ever do. At heights above 26,000 feet, the air is so thin that most people need bottled oxygen just to stay alive. Joshua knew the risks. His Sherpa guide, Nawang, carried an emergency oxygen bottle, but Joshua had clear rules about when to use it, only if he passed out or the weather got too bad. On May 22nd, Joshua and Nawang left Camp 4 at 26,000 feet for their final push to the summit. The climb was hard. Every step without oxygen felt awful, but Joshua kept going. As they got higher, something went wrong. At Bishop Rock, just 160 feet below the summit, Joshua started acting weird. He was confused and wouldn't listen to Nawang. When Nawang tried to give him the emergency oxygen, Joshua said no. Joshua was so close to making history, just 160 feet from becoming the first African to reach the top of Everest without oxygen. But his body was shutting down from the thin air. Back at base camp, they lost radio contact with Joshua and Nawang. The last message was hard to understand, but it sounded like they were in trouble. Rescue teams looked for days, but couldn't find them in the bad weather. Finally, they found Joshua's body in a crack in the ice, just 160 feet below the summit. He had died trying to reach the summit. Nawang was never found. He disappeared trying to help Joshua. Joshua Cheruiyot died on May 22, 2024. His family decided not to bring his body down and left Joshua to rest in the mountains where he belonged.